Shalom, my name is Adam Wasser. The Festival of Purim has just ended. The Festival of Purim is about the redemption of the Jewish people being saved by Queen Esther from almost complete annihilation. You would think that from this commemorative moment in Jewish history, that we should live in a time that we don't have to worry about people trying to kill us because we are Jews. You would think that in a time of now, that there is an understanding of equality and liberty for all peoples. But unfortunately, over the Shabbat, after the Festival of Purim, over 100 missiles fell from the Gaza Strip into central southern Israel. Some people were injured severely, others minorly. Many children and many adults had to spend the Shabbat in bomb shelters, with worries of will they survive? Will these bombs be biological, or will they be far-reaching more than we've ever thought? The Jewish people of southern central Israel every day have to live with this fact of life. Every day, these people, whether they be Jewish or not, have to live with the fact, is there going to be a bomb today? One day, will my child not come home, God forbid? The fact that Palestinians have once again, for the millionth time, bombed central southern Israel, is a fact of life. But it is not something that should be tolerated. It is not something that should be expected. No country in the world would accept this kind of tolerance. Only Israel accepts this. Only Israel deals with this. Because every other country, when you look at history, would have taken care of these people and thrown them out. I believe in peace. I truly do. I look at the Arab people as my cousins, and I respect Islam and look at it as something as beautiful, no matter what my critics may say. But in truth, I believe that there is only one solution to the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, is the removal of the Palestinians from the Gaza and from the West Bank. One day, I believe strongly that the West Bank will be like Gaza, where there will be missiles falling, and when that happens, all of Israel will be affected. There is no place in Israel today that is not affected by short-range missile fire. If we do not remove the Palestinians from the Gaza, then we risk future generations dealing with biological and, God forbid, even nuclear short-range missiles. Now, yes, you will say, well, this will mean a war with Egypt. Opening the borders up with Gaza and Egypt and throwing the Palestinians into Egypt will mean war. Well, today, after the Arab Spring, the Egyptian people show that they want war with Israel. They just don't want peace. Years ago, I traveled across the Nile in Egypt, and I found that not only the Egyptian government promoted war with Israel, but the Egyptian people loved it. They loved the idea. And it was a shame, and it still is a tragedy, but it's the reality, and that's something we have to accept, because that is the truth. And if the Egyptian people want war with the Jewish people, then so be it. And I'll say this, to go into Gaza, to bomb Gaza, but to send Israeli troops into Gaza means Israeli casualties. We can't afford that. And if we do understand that that is the reality, that we have to accept Israeli casualties, then let us accept it in the fact that there is a resolution to this, that we're not just going in there and leaving, so that another day we come back again. If we remove them, then it's done. It's over with. King David was a man of action. He was a man of understanding and peace, but he didn't tolerate, people messing with his country. And that's the way we need to deal with this. We have to understand that in order to achieve peace, we need to first strike. And we need to strike in a way that they know that we mean business and that we will not accept a ghetto mentality where the Jewish people are trapped in a wall, and we accept abuse, we accept bombardment, and we just deal with it. We cannot deal with this, and we should not accept it. And if it means a war with Egypt, then it means lives that will be lost. There's no doubt on that. But at least future generations will live in peace. Future generations will be able to live. The sacrifice of one means the living for many. And for me to say this is disgusting, because I'm not in Israeli soldiers, so how can I go and say, go and fight and save future generations? And that's very hard for me, and I don't know what to say to that, but I know that it must be done. I know that that is the only solution to guaranteeing the survival of Israel's future generations to live in a secure Israel, one that is not bombarded by bombs and terrorism. I don't expect that everyone will agree with me. I don't expect that you will all completely understand what I'm saying. But I ask you, look into the history of Israel and ask yourself, is peace with the Palestinians possible? Can the Jewish people and the Palestinians live side by side with an end to war? For me, I've always studied Israel. It's always been a part of my life. Behind me are maps of Israel, and I've always loved the country and the people, and I just don't see it. I don't see that the Jews and the Palestinians can live together in peace. And I don't blame that on the Israelis. I try to be open-minded and non-biased, but in reality, the Palestinians, they believe this is their land, and the only way that they can get their land back is through terrorism and bombing. And sometimes the bigger brother has to be the one to say enough. We won't tolerate it anymore. So I encourage everyone, please, if you're going to support a bombing act, if you're going to support a siege into Gaza, ask yourself, what is the goal? Is the goal a temporary goal, or are we looking for a goal that is permanent? I'm looking for a permanent goal, and I ask you to as well. God bless you all, and have a wonderful week. Amen.